Hello and welcome to or back to my channel. I am your friendly feminist cat lady spinster, and today we are going to look at some of the really great comments that I have received since beginning my official YouTube channel. So I'm just going to jump in, editing me real quick, and add that at the end of the video I'm also going to talk about why these comments don't bother me. So back in February 2021, I began to upload little cat shorts 3 times a week, with the intention of eventually posting my own videos. And around, I believe it was April 2021, I came across something from Nick Fuentes and I just had to respond to it. And that was my very first YouTube video. In fact, the very first comment I received was "kill yourself," which for some reason was deleted before I could respond to it. Anyway, I had no idea really who Nick Fuentes is, or who the Groypers are, or anything like that. So posting that video was kind of overwhelming. I did turn off notifications for a time. And even now, any video dealing with the manosphere in any way, shape, or form, and not just from me, but from any YouTuber, except maybe really big YouTubers, probably because they know big YouTubers have a big audience, therefore they can't throw shit at them and expect no one to come at them. However, they do enjoy piling on small YouTubers, which is very interesting. I mean, what do they think that's going to accomplish? I'm not going to stop making videos because you decided to ratio a video about the manosphere because you didn't like it because you're a man with a very delicate ego. So, it has been 6 months since my very first video. I will link it up here, but I don't really recommend watching it because it was before I had my very fancy ring light and my very fancy microphone. So it was me and my laptop in a fairly empty apartment, which does not actually make for the best sound or visual quality. But yeah, I think I have grown and learned a lot from those first videos. Anyway, to begin Comment Palooza, I did try to set some guidelines, otherwise we would be here all day. So first, I selected, real comments, not people leaving stupid drive-by one-word comments, and obviously no bots that are leaving links. And I also tried to not pick comments that I've already responded to. So first up is John Davis, who says that women shouldn't be on the internet. To which I say, thank you, sir, for proving me right that we do still need feminism in 2021. So long as there are men and women, to be fair, who think women are beneath men for whatever reason they choose to justify their beliefs, we will need feminism. Sergio Wilson says, lady, you are an extreme radical feminist warrior to me, ready to go do battle on the battlefield with men, my God. Kevin Samuels is a great man. I dig him in the Fresh and Fit podcast. Okay, I mean, that's your choice if you want to enjoy that type of content. I personally disagree, but how am I radical? What have I said or done that's really radical? I think for a lot of people, they see the word feminist in my name and they make all sorts of crazy assumptions without ever bothering to actually watch a video. Negustu says, first 3 mins are useless. You're welcome. Save for the rest, this lady so-called is diluted. I find it really interesting how when you wade into the manosphere, there's men who call you lady, and then men who also, if you're not behaving the way they think you should, will try to insult you by calling you a so-called lady. But I never claimed to be a lady. What makes a lady? Why are you the judge of what is ladylike? Why should I be offended or insulted or upset that you called me a so-called lady? I don't get this at all. It's like saying, this so-called gentleman. Chris Mogg says, shut to F up. You don't know what you are talking about, hater. I do appreciate that he censored himself. I also find this kind of funny because I hear so much about how men are so logical and rational, but nothing about this comment screams logical or rational. So on my Nick Fuentes video, on my thumbnail, I put, women aren't things that lose value over time, because in the video, Nick was talking about how feminists are the reason we have the age of consent because it inflates their sexual market value when they're in their 30s or some other such nonsense. And Brett Benzion says, your webcam says differently. Ooh, I think this one might be my favorite. D. Cummings says, seriously, your YouTube channel name says it all. I don't even understand why you're responding to this content when you personally seem to have no dealings with men. What's your dog in this fight? My dog in this fight is that I exist in this world. But, well, for one, I can respond to whatever content I choose to. And second, When you personally seem to have no dealings with men. I asked for clarification on that and never got a response. Shock. But does he seriously think that I live in a world with no men in it? I have male coworkers, male friends, male family members, and sometimes I even date men. So yeah, I would say it affects me when men believe all this horrendous shit that comes spilling out of Nick Fuentes and Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit and whoever else's mouth. So Terry Fleming had a bit of a, breakdown or something when watching my Kevin Samuels video because he left multiple comments. You went into this video wanting to get triggered, so you get triggered, to which I noted that I went into the video because I was asked to and I wasn't triggered. Not agreeing with someone's content doesn't mean you've been triggered. Her mind is stuck at 15. Ugh, she sounds like a child. Well, I mean, youth is prized in that community, so ask your so-called male friends to watch Kevin Samuels, then ask him if he's wrong. I would not do that, not out of fear that they would agree, but because that man takes forever to get to his point. And then when he finally does get to his point, he keeps making it, but very slowly. So no wonder his videos are so long because he speaks so slow, not to mention that stupid intermission where he wants to get the likes and dislikes or whatever up to whatever ratio he deems acceptable before I'll start talking again. And just, ugh. I have more problems with him beyond what he says. I don't think any man is your type. You hate them. Man, I feel sorry for this girl. Las Palmas says 7 thumbs up and 55 thumbs down. I think that says it all. Feminist, far-left, woke individuals are mentally ill. There's absolutely no question about it. That actually doesn't really, for one, it meant they were moved to engage, and I'd be willing to bet a lot of them engaged with my video without actually watching it. Which, it works for me, because to the algorithm, engagement is engagement. It doesn't matter if you liked it or not. For anyone watching this who's thinking about starting a YouTube channel, don't put too much stock in the likes and dislikes, because if you do a video about a certain subject, say involving the manosphere, I don't know where they come from. Part of me thinks that they actually search for reaction and commentary videos just to dislike and leave insulting comments when you dare speak against their human gods. But I think that is something that they actually do, and that is why my controversial videos get so many dislikes. Not because the video itself was bad, but because people hate that I'm disagreeing with whoever it is I'm disagreeing with. Dennis Venegas says, an extra privilege women have is they can get into clubs for free. They can sell feet pictures and make money. They have ladies drink free nights. I could list so many. These are all privileges men don't have. You're a typical leftist. Listen, you're not even close to the level of intelligence Candace Owens has. Hopefully she doesn't see this video and make you her child like how she does to Cardi B. Does anyone here know how Candace Owens has made Cardi B her child? Because that really confused me. Also, I sincerely doubt that Candace Owens is looking at videos from anyone, let alone someone with a small amount of subscribers. And also, so being able to get into a club for free and having ladies drink free nights is not a privilege. It's a business decision that they made to then get more men to come to the club. Because they know where women are, men will go, and they want that money. And selling feet pictures is also not a privilege. How much money does this man think women make when they do that? Vanessa Crespo says, don't get me wrong, guys don't want a headache. Yes, they want someone with a conversation, but men don't want a headache and a combative woman either way. It's a 3 or 2 out of 10. Maybe lose weight, put makeup on, maybe a butt lift or breast lift. Is this really Vanessa, or is it someone pretending to be a woman to make it look like a woman agrees with whatever man I was disagreeing with in this video? So I don't wear makeup, which is probably obvious, but I find it interesting that you can't see my boobs or my butt, and this person is telling me I should get maybe a butt lift or a breast lift? Well, thank you, Vanessa, for that constructive criticism. I appreciate that. Legend of Society 7 says, I'd like to argue the point you made saying women have their own hopes, dreams, and desires. I'd like to argue all aspirations get overshadowed by the number one female desire, finding a secured male partner and raising children. Women's focus is men and family. Women are the now. Men's focus is making life better for his family, includes the woman. Men are the future. I think someone took those the future is female shirts a little too seriously, but that doesn't change the fact that not all women want to get married and have kids. and not all women want to make that the most important thing they do with their life. Editing Kit jumping in to add that if finding a male partner and raising children is the number one female desire that overshadows all else, why are there so many people trying to convince young women that if they don't marry by 25, they're going to end up old and alone? And that is obviously a problem, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it. But these men are so insecure about women having their own hopes, dreams, and desires that does not focus on finding a man, that they attempt to like instill panic in young women by saying that, hey, if at 20 you're not ready to get married and have kids, by the time you are, it'll be too late and you're going to end up old and alone. When that's just not true. People get married at every age, and you should never force yourself into something because you think you might regret not doing so later. I mean, like that D. Cummings guy was like, you seem to have no personal dealings with men, but you know, I'm not like opposed to finding someone and settling down, but I'm not going to do that with someone who considers me lesser simply because I'm a woman. And I'm aware of my age and of my waning fertility, and that still doesn't affect it for me because having kids and getting married was never number one on my bucket list. And I mean, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. And I think that as humans, we have a responsibility to like really consider the things we're doing and do them responsibly. And definitely don't do things because someone else told you you should, otherwise you'll regret it. I'm not going to get married to whoever now in case I end up 80 and alone. Because even if you do that, you could still end up at 80 alone. Something I think they have to know. They have to know. There's no possible way they can't not know. But something they don't also mention is that you can get married and still be alone. And that, to me, would be worse than being unmarried. Okay, now, carrying on. So here's a few more from Legends of Society 7. In response to, what if a man doesn't want to make decisions? Too bad, so sad to that man. There are no girls that will find him attractive if he is submissive. In fact, they will make a out of him. That stuff is all over P-Hub. So if I'm reading this correctly, if a man is submissive, his girlfriend, wife, whoever will cheat on him because he is submissive. But how do you get not wanting to make all the decisions or even half decisions to someone being submissive? I mean, it's seriously just not possible to care about every minute detail. Like if someone says, hey, do you want to go wherever for dinner? I'm 9.5 times out of 10, I'm going to say, yeah, sure, sounds good, because I just don't care that much. Unless it's pho, because I hate pho. Strong go-getter women probably don't exist, alpha women, because if you look, most girls that claim they are alpha, go-getter, etc. want a man that's even more of a go-getter than her. To be honest, I have never actually seen a woman proclaim that she's an alpha female unless they're in the MLM community and then they try to use that to like recruit people, because I have no idea how they think that works. But I guess it must, because MLMs are still around. But also alpha, beta, and all that are actually not a thing. The man who wrote about it has admitted that he was wrong. While men that are alphas don't want women that are go-getters more than them. They want someone more chill. A boss wouldn't want a boss, they'd want an assistant. If a boss wants another boss, it's because the first boss doesn't like being boss. Well, that's fine. I mean, if you don't like being boss, that's fine. I don't like being boss, which will probably shock people because apparently the fact of me being a feminist, it means I'm a dominatrix. Apparently that's what being a feminist means. Also, in regards to your comment on 345, well, I'm glad this person did apparently watch the whole video at least. People, especially women, but men included, view red pill as if it's like women get put down, men get raised up. No, I would say that's more the MGTOW community. They put down women a lot, and I don't really see much raising up of men unless they think that simply by shitting on women, they're raising men up. I don't know. And in fact, it's not the case at all. Red pill exposes female nature and how to attract female. Are we birds? Based on information provided about their nature. The biggest thing many people miss about red pill is the pressure is all on men, all of it. If you let your women feel even a little bit of the life pressure, you are at risk of losing said, I assume the last word is woman, but I don't really care enough to picture the whole comment. So red pill is nonsense. And I find this so interesting because apparently the red pill came from The Matrix, which is a film made by two trans women. Who's putting this pressure on men in red pill? Is it women or is it men putting that pressure on men? And there is also no one female nature. Like I've said in many videos, You can try to attract a female, but that's not going to work for all women. You might find yourself attracting someone that you didn't actually want. And then what happens? You've lost yourself for someone that you're not even interested in. I do wonder what type of man is attracted to a submissive person. I don't know what the is for. It is true. I mean, yes, I know there are kinks, and I'm not here to kink shame. But if someone wants someone so submissive that they essentially get to dominate their entire life, not just in the bedroom, I have some questions, because that seems like someone who would be very likely to go a little mad with power. Relaxosopher seemed to go a little weird on my Rebecca Barrett female submission video. Dainty Begley says, what if we're both women? Do we take turns submitting? And Relaxosopher says, it had nothing to do with LGBTQ people. Men do perform better in logic and math unless they are lesbian. In fact, there's no bigger inconsistent difference when it comes to cognitive factors than when it comes to mathematics and logic. Okay. On another comment, I noted that if you're overwhelmed by the world, it's probably easier to fall into gendered social expectations. Then that way you at least know what's expected of you, and you can fulfill your role in society without having to think too much about it or worry that you're doing the wrong thing. And he responded, fall into, who socializes gay men to be more feminine and who socializes lesbians to be lesbians and masculine? Nobody. In fact, they're like that against all social punishments and rewards to conform. It cannot be explained by lesbian conspiracy theories like this. Nobody socializes gay men to be feminine and lesbians to be masculine or to transition into the opposite sex. Lesbians are females, but they're not women. So, that is quite a statement. I wonder how much interaction with the real world this person has had, because I'm venturing to guess probably not much. And then for some reason, he went ahead and responded to Legends of Society 7 with, look, at what point is it sexual harassment from lesbians? But maybe I should put a warning at my videos, it's not for the faint of heart or the very easily offended. This to me is what triggered would be when you just go crazy talking about something that I don't even remember being part of the video. I think maybe in the video I mentioned something about how does that work when it's two men or two women? I mean, if women are to submit, what if there's no man to submit to? But I think really the only comment that was made on the whole video and comment section was Dainty's comment about what happens if it's two women. Do we take turns submitting? Because, I mean, it is a ridiculous idea to say that all women should submit to a man, because do I even need to explain that in this video? I feel like anyone watching this video is going to be a regular viewer, so you probably already know why that's ridiculous. But Relax did have some final words. You're using the term strong as a euphemism for masculine. Most people are heterosexual. Had nothing to do with lesbianism. I don't understand. It did have nothing to do with lesbianism, but you made it all about, okay, but lesbians aren't female. So then what are lesbians if they're not women? I'm confused. Now, it's not all bad comments. After asking if, judging from my name, was I alone in this world? Spoiler, I'm not alone in this world. I have a family. Where do you think I came from? The sea? I did not spring from the sea foam like Aphrodite. I do have family. Maybe they're not children that I, gave birth to myself, but I do have parents and family members. Anyway, I would like to add that you, young lady, have some sexual market value. You don't have to be a cat lady. Women's minds and personalities are frequently changing. Don't make your 40-year-old self regret what your now self is doing. So it's very flattering that he thinks I'm much younger than I am. But married, single, children, no children, I will be a cat lady. It literally runs in my family to be a cat lady. And women's minds and personalities are frequently changing. Is he saying that men's minds don't change? Men don't adapt and grow as they age? I feel like they're trying to make a point about how steady and logical men are, but this just reads as sad to me, because you should always be changing and growing. But I'm also very curious as to what my now self is doing. Does he think that this YouTube channel will scare potential future husbands away from me? Or does he think I talk about feminism every day, every second, constantly in my personal life? That would be weird, but thanks. And I'm also glad he did not give me a number, because I'm very tired of being rated as a number. Okay, so I lied. This is my favorite comment. So I posted one of my videos, I think it was the Rebecca Barrett female submission one, on one of the subreddits that I'm a part of. And someone apparently got lost and wandered in there and left this lovely comment. Alone, childless cat lady in her late 30s gives women advice on relationships. LMAO. My response, you clearly didn't watch the video. And I said that because nowhere in the video did I give relationship advice. Their response, you're clearly in denial about your life situation and the fact women are unhappier than ever before. If you keep this shit up and keep pushing this feminism bullshit, you girls might even surpass us men in suicide rates in a couple of decades. I'm not really sure where he gets that I'm in denial because, I literally named myself Feminist Cat Lady Spinster. So where is the denial? And also, the studies show that Americans as a whole are unhappier. And the answer to people becoming unhappier is not to put them in little tiny gendered boxes. My response to that was, it really does blow people's brains when a woman doesn't want to get married. Interesting. Their response, yeah, sweetie, it's totally your choice not to get married and this is not just cope. Who needs a stable relationship, family, and love when you can just slave for your employer and get used as a quick lay from time to time? So I have a lot to say about that. So, it is my choice not to get married. How is it not my choice to get married? If I wanted to, I probably could find, a steady relationship, but I don't really have an interest in that right now. So why would I do that to someone else? And even if I did find someone that I wanted to be with, like as a stable relationship, I don't think I would want to get married because I'm not really into marriage. I could probably go into that in more detail, but this video is already at 31 minutes as of recording. I don't know what it'll be edited to, and also I never planned my wedding as a little girl. I never, I thought I would get married at 25 when I was 14 because, I don't know, that seemed like an adult enough age to get married. And then when 25 rolled around, I had no interest in marriage. I had no interest in having a steady boyfriend. I did try, but I would always freak out and end relationships before they got too serious. And I do have family, as I mentioned before, and I also have really good friends that are like family, so you don't need to be married to have a family. And so I did look at this person's comment history, and they apparently have a girlfriend. And yeah, I would rather stay single than have the kind of love this person would offer. I don't think it would really be love, especially if you're do what I say or I'll leave you and you'll be a single woman. I just really find that unappealing, and I think it baffles a lot of this type of men to know that women would rather be single than be in a relationship that's not good. What is slaving for your employer? I work for 40 hours a week. I get paid. I get benefits. I have paid time off. I get paid holidays. And as for get used as a quick lay from time to time, I control access to my body. If I sleep with someone, it's because I want to. Why these comments don't bother me? Well, for one, they seem to turn me into a straw man. Their version of me is not a me that actually exists. So I can't be offended because the things that they say don't apply to me. I have a whole life outside of YouTube. What people see on screen is a very small portion. No, I'm not married. Yes, I'm okay with that. Yes, I as a woman know that my fertility declines with every year, and I'm also okay with that. Anyway, yeah, so when someone insults my looks or my whatever, it doesn't really matter because they're strangers to me. And I also know that what I'm saying in that video is upsetting to them for whatever reason. So they are going to try and upset me in whatever way they can. And totally not sexist at all. They think the way to insult a woman is to tell her, 1, she's old, and 2, she's ugly. And I know that's how they think they can insult women. Therefore, when someone tries to tell me I'm old and ugly, it's okay, you can really think that, or you could be saying that to try and, I don't know, make me panic that some stranger on the internet thinks I'm old and ugly. Okay, interesting life choices. Yeah, essentially they're just I don't know who these people are, so why would I take them seriously? And I would definitely advise that sort of attitude if you begin a YouTube channel. Although I will admit that sometimes if I'm at work when I get one of these little notifications, I will share them with my coworkers who are all women, and we do have a bit of a laugh. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you care to do so. Please leave a comment below letting me know what comment was your favorite. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.